The buzz is still hanging around Inverness County. When Logan Chisholm scored the overtime winner in the final of the TELUS Cup National Midget Championship last April in Prince George, BC, the Cape Breton West Islanders ended 44 years of hockey frustration for Atlantic Canada. It was the first national tournament win for an Atlantic team. It happened in a season that saw the Islanders win the Nova Scotia League and Atlantic Tournament titles for the first time. The team was the toast of Port Hood and much of Western Cape Breton. The county celebrated the victory into the summer months, something Islanders head coach Kyle MacDonald couldn't escape. "There was probably 2 weeks where I wanted to crawl into a hole," MacDonald said with a laugh. "It was definitely all positive. Everybody is still talking about it. I ran into somebody the other day and all they wanted to talk about was the championship game. It's been nothing but congratulations all summer. It was a real cool experience and there's still a buzz all around home and rightfully so." It was quite an accomplishment. The Islanders, only the second Nova Scotia team to ever make the Nationals final, battled back from a 2-goal, third-period deficit against Quebec's Blizzard du Séminaire Saint-François. Chisholm, who scored the tying goal with 5:51 left in the third, capped it off with a wrist shot that tipped off the glove of the Saint-François goaltender 5:39 into out. The winning goal set off a raucous celebration that was likely heard all the way back in Nova Scotia. But the celebration has died down as a new Nova Scotian Major Midget season is about to be unfurled. It will be a much different-looking Cape Breton West squad. Over half of last season's roster has graduated to the junior ranks, including the Islanders' top 6 leading scorers, Chisholm among them. "They're definitely big shoes to fill," MacDonald said. "Obviously we're the defending national champions, so we've definitely lost some big players. But we have a good young stock coming up, guys that can put the puck in the net. It'll certainly be different, but we do have 5 returning players up front, 3 returning D and a returning goalie, so it's not that bad. I think we'll definitely be a good team this year." Among the returnees is the line of Callum McPherson, Fergus MacDonald and Stephen Fox, who formed a reliable, and young, scoring unit for MacDonald last season. "They were a very good line for us," said the Isles' second-year coach. Ewan MacDonald takes over in the crease from Colton Ellis, who was sensational in the TELUS Cup final, as he was throughout the tournament and the Islanders' playoff run. Ellis, who had 43 saves in the national championship game, led the Nova Scotia Major Midget League in goals against average and save percentage in both the regular season and the playoffs, despite missing time battling mononucleosis and being called up to the QMJHL's Cape Breton Screaming Eagles. MacDonald was more than capable in Ellis's absence. He appeared in 21 games, won 16 of them, and sported a 2.24 GAA and .910 percentage. Ewan really exceeded the expectations of last year when Colton got sick with mono, Kyle MacDonald, no relation, said at the Antigonish native. "That was great for Ewan and he did an excellent job during those games. He was stopping 28 to 30 shots a game for us, he was facing a lot of shots and held us in those games. He really proved that he could be a premier goaltender in our league. We expect him to do an excellent job for us this year." While Colton Ellis has moved on to the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, Cape Breton traded his rights to the Rimouski Oceanic at the QMJHL draft. 2 other members of the Ellis clan are expected to step right into the lineup this season. Ellis's brother Matthew and 6'2", 215-pound Chase Ellis, Colton's 15-year-old cousin, are expected to contribute for MacDonald's squad. After such a memorable 2016-17 campaign, cruising to a 31-5-2 first-place record during the regular season and a combined 15-1 mark through the Nova Scotia and Atlantic Major Midget playoffs before culminating with the ultimate prize, MacDonald is guarding against a potential letdown from his players. "I talked a lot about that to our returnees," he said. "Expectations are still really high. We accomplished so much last year, but you can't let that get in your way in the job we have to do this year. We would love to win the league again. We have a good group of players and that's where our expectations are set right now. The guys learned a lot from winning the national championship and I think they'll help the younger guys along. If you win a big championship like that, you obviously have an enormous amount of character and good people in your lineup. They'll be very important for us this year." The Islanders began their title defense Saturday afternoon when they face the Valley Wildcats in Berwick. The season opens Wednesday night.